All right, guys, this is Paul Singh, the Market Speculator with bullsonwallstreet.com. This is the free weekly swing trade report for the week of December 19th, 2016. Let's take a look at SPY here. We've had a bit of a pullback here, which is healthy when after a long run like this. We had a high here of about 228. We're down to 225. And key here is we're sitting at the 9 EMA. Now, what we want to see, does the market pivot from here and then run up? We've got December seasonality in play. Usually late December, we get a nice little run here. We'll see if that plays out this year. Or if it breaks the 9, I would expect a deeper pullback, maybe to this range here around 221. Now, with this pullback, we've had some of the stronger sectors pull back, specifically commodities, and that's what we're going to focus on today. So let's look at some of these commodity stocks, and basically we're looking for the same thing in all these. So I'm going to pull up POT, which is an ag stock. You can see here it's made a fantastic run from the upper 15s all the way to 20, and now it's pulled back to 18. And look at where the 9 is sitting, right above this level here. Oftentimes you get these harder pullbacks when something has run really strong. So this week, this is going to be the theme in this sector. We're going to watch for remounts of the 9. Now, if they don't come, we don't get in. There's nothing to do here. We move on to the other stuff we talked about in the trade report, which I just sent out to trade report members. But if we do get that remount, we can enter in, and that's actually exactly what I did with our oil position on Friday. So let me pull that up for you guys here. You can see here, oil had that pullback, remounted the 9 on Friday, and that was the entry trigger. So that's what we're going to look at in the rest of these commodity areas. So again, that's POT here. Then we can go to some coal stocks like SXC, all actionable setups here if they trigger. Now we got a lot of volume here in SXC on Friday, so that maybe that's not the best one. Let me switch to WLB here. That's a little better. You can see pulled back here. We want to see a remount of that 9. AKS is still above it actually, and then X here is under the 9. We want to see a hold of these levels and then remount. So that's what we're going to be looking at here in the commodities sector. And one other sector for us to watch here, a little bit of a different pattern. This hasn't been a runner and is not pulling back. It's actually already been pulling back hard and now is bouncing. So it's almost the opposite setup here. That's biotech. Now we see here, biotech has had that run here to the downside from 292 to 272 and actually hit a low here, 262. So about 30 points here after the election. And now it's starting to come back a little bit. We're going to watch these key moving averages. If we can remount, the setup is again a remount, but a different type of pattern. But if we remount here, and let's say IBB closes at 275, that would trigger an entry. And we could do something like trade the triple leveraged, BIB, or the double leveraged, BIB, or we could trade triple leveraged, LABU, which tends to be more volatile, not only because it's triple leveraged, but also because it tracks the mid caps and lower floats more. So you can see here, same pattern, but this one would be tracking XBI. And it's essentially the same pattern. So get up to say 63, 62.50 on XBI, that would trigger LABU. So to start the week, 2 areas you're really going to be watching: commodities, which there's a lot of different industries in there, but we'll say coal, steel, metals, and I forgot to show you guys FCX, but FCX is another one that's been beaten down a lot. Copper here, again, if it came back up over the 9, if it doesn't, there's absolutely nothing to do with it. So ag, metals, and coal are what we're going to be looking at there. And then biotech. Does biotech come back? You can just trade the ETFs, or you can look for some of the stronger biotech stocks. So we've got some potentially actionable trades here if these things trigger. If they don't trigger, just sit on your hands or go to a different sector. So that's it for the weekly report. We'll see how these guys play out, and I'll see you guys next week.